Big bucks take time and patience, and no one knows that better than this fella. And this year he has a new buck in mind at an old favorite spot.
Steve, what's it like not to be tagged out?
Well, in a way it's good, in a way it sucks.
And as always, there's temptations along the way, some bigger than others.
Great brawls, great G2s. He looks pretty young to me.
But patience always pays off.
That would be the shortest hunt I've ever had.
That was quick, eh?
Millions of deer hunters head a field each fall, and for many, this is the goal, the dream. There's a reason that a big mature whitetail is the most sought-after game animal in the world and the hardest to get. We live our lives hoping for an encounter with them, documenting them. We teach our children so they can share the appreciation and carry on the tradition. You put the time in, the work, the practice, and live the lifestyle just to spend time in the woods with these incredible animals. Then we're no different. We hit a field with the millions of others each fall, hoping that when it's all over, we can share the story of a legend. Man, it's awesome. I'm gonna get to hunt these deer every year, follow these deer for years like this, and pick sheds off them, and gorgeous, gorgeous deer.
Stealth Cam presents Canadian Whitetail, brought to you by Ozonics, undetectable, undeniable. New archery products, hunt with confidence. Monster Meal, attraction, nutrition, results. Muddy, serious gear for serious hunters. Excalibur crossbow, different for a reason. Glendale 3D targets, the biggest and toughest 3D targets in the world. Hunter specialties, serious hunting tools. Boyd's hardwood gun stocks, better with Boyd's. Nocturnal lighted nocks, switch on accuracy and let it glow. Heater bodysuit, #1 in cold weather hunting gear. Raculator, score your trophy fast, easy, and accurate. Central boiler outdoor wood furnaces. And by Stealth Cam, proven reliability, proven quality, proven performance.
Certain places and properties have a lot of sentimental value for some people. And for Steve Csizmars this week, we're hunting at a spot that definitely means a lot to him. It's the same spot that over a decade ago, in 2010, Steve took one of the largest bucks of his life. A giant typical whitetail and a big accomplishment for the most knowledgeable and deserving hunter that I know. Now, years later, Steve has another deer to hunt at a very familiar spot, but boy will he be tested along the way. We'd known the buck for a few years, but he was never a standout. However, anything can happen, and we were anxious to see what another year's time might bring in 2021. As that year passed, we found our answer as summer scouting showed the buck looking fantastic. Now sporting a big left side flyer, certainly a deer we'd want to take a look at. However, with cattle moving into the pasture, we'd have to wait until late September to get set up. We'd been scouting here all summer and we watched a couple nice bucks that we wanted to have a closer look at, and then they moved the cows in, so that was expected, and the cows absolutely blew it up. So we were out of here for almost a month, but now the cows are out, we're back, and I don't think it's going to take very long. I'm pretty sure everything will be settled down and back to normal within a week. And before the cattle were in here, we had our stealth cam and some monster meal about 150 yards down the channel here. That's where we were getting pictures of those bucks. We knew where we wanted to set up when it came time, so now that it is time, we came in, we got the blind up, we're going to bring the stealth cam down, throw some more monster meal out, and I'm hoping that within a week we're going to be ready to hunt, and if not in a week, it won't take very long. We'll put a little bit of brush up there. There's not a lot of brush there because the leaves are already turning and starting to drop. It's just about October. It's pretty exciting, even if we're a couple weeks late, to get it set up and get ready, so this fall we can spend some time in the blind and hopefully get a look at one of those bucks. We'd never felt the cattle bother the deer that much, and in moderation actually improve habitat. And it proves true as just days after the cattle are out and we're set up, the big flyer buck is already on the scene, and Steve is ready to get hunting at his old familiar spot.
This segment of Canadian Whitetail has been brought to you by Glendale, the only 3D target with a replaceable 4-sided core. Glendale, the biggest and toughest 3D targets in the universe. This segment has been brought to you by the Raculator, the only electronic scoring tool in the world. Built for all antlered game, the Raculator guides you step by step to score your trophy fast, easy, and accurate. Available only at Raculator.com.
Set up and ready, Steve was headed in for day one, hoping to get a look at the flyer buck and also film a couple of the other up-and-comers in the area, and his very first day would prove to provide plenty of temptation.
October 5th today. I'm in a spot here where back in 2010 I shot my very first legitimate Boone and Crockett deer. We've got a few nice bucks coming through here. A nice wide buck with a flyer kicking off of him and enough with a jibber jabber. And let's get hunting, see what happens for the evening.
With the jibber jabber out of the way, early this young buck makes an appearance. And early on day one, the young buck looks back nervous, and Steve was about to see a real treat. It's a deer we know well, but the trail camera photos had done him no justice. Big, tall 4x4 frame, a gorgeous buck by all accounts, but we also know how young the deer was. And of anyone, Steve knows how important it is to let these young bucks mature, and lets the deer walk, just enjoying the opportunity to watch him.
Might regret passing that guy up, but regardless, super nice deer.
After letting the young buck walk just at last light, Steve's treated to another beautiful up-and-comer in the area, a little more mature, but no sighting of the flyer buck.
Ready for round two. I had a really good sit last night. I seen the two 4x4s that were here. The one, he was really good looking. Awesome tines and brow tines. Great brows, great G2s. He looks pretty young to me, and he's got loads and loads and loads of potential. So hopefully, me letting him go, he makes the rest of the season. And there's a couple other ones here that I had my eye on that I wanted to see, and unfortunately they didn't show up last night. So.
Again tonight, Steve's treated to multiple bucks but no flyer buck, and not being able to hunt the next couple days. When we go in to check the stealth cam, Steve sees that both days he missed, the flyer buck had been through. Unfortunate, but at least we knew he was still in the area.
This segment has been brought to you by Nocturnal Lighted Knocks. String activated. Simple. Switch on accuracy and let it glow. Nocturnal Lighted Knocks. Canadian Whitetail has also been brought to you by Flock Archery Targets, the world's #1 archery target. Halo Optics, premium rangefinders. Tacticam, share your hunt. The Buck Bomb, natural and synthetic lures. Hawk, hunt from above or attack from the ground. AAE, quality and dependability in all our products. Black Eagle Arrows, superior carbon technology. And by Cyclops Lights, get out of the dark. This segment of Canadian Whitetail has been brought to you by Boyd's Hardwood Gun Stocks, the world's largest manufacturer of aftermarket hardwood and laminate stocks. Boyd's offers stocks for over 1,200 firearm models, so you can make every gun better with Boyd's.
After missing a couple of days, tonight deer moving early, but Steve's first day back proves uneventful.
This is sit number 4. Yeah, we'll sit back, see what happens. Hopefully, we get some more action tonight.
Another fairly uneventful evening until just that last light when some of the bucks appear. However, still no sign of the buck with the flyer. On Steve's next time out, having gotten lucky and tagged out myself, I was able to head in to run the camera for Steve on day number 5.
Steve,
Yo.
what's it like not to be tagged out?
Well, in a way it's good, in a way it sucks.
If you wait and you kill a great big one, it's good.
Yep,
You passed up a great big one already.
I did. I passed up a nice 4 in here. This spot exactly.
It's a crazy big deer, like big frame deer anyway, but he's gonna be a super giant deer if he gets the chance, eh?
Yeah.
The one buck is, he's a big frame 8-point. He's got his one side's kind of weak, but only because he threw a great big flyer out the side. He's a pretty neat deer. As Stevie would say, you never know until you see him.
Yep. It's the deciding factor every time.
Never stressed, never rushed. These are a couple of reasons why Steve's been so successful in the deer woods. But tonight, just mere minutes after getting in, it appears Steve may not have to wait long. Steve looks over and sees a deer come to the fence. I pan the camera, and when the buck turns his head, I see that flyer. Just moments into the evening, and the buck is on the scene. Standing at the fence, watching and surveying for what seems like an eternity, he finally begins to head our way. A gorgeous deer in every sense, just yards away. And now Steve just needed the big buck to stop. And when he did, Steve settled in to take his shot.
Welcome to this week's Canadian Whitetail Scouting segment. Locate, learn, set up, hunt. Brought to you by Muddy Outdoors.
Spring is definitely in the air. It's almost April. And for those of us that watch whitetails all year round, it's often a sigh of relief when we see the snow go. But the truth be told, for the white-tailed deer, they're far from out of the woods just yet. Signs of a tough winter can be found everywhere, and if you're a shed hunter, this is no uncommon sight. Those lush green alfalfa and crop fields from the fall that were put to bed with a blanket of snow have now awakened in the spring, but they're a wasteland. They're of no beneficial use to a white-tailed deer. They're barren areas that it's going to be weeks before there's any usable nutrition there for a white-tailed deer. It's almost like they're in a marathon through the winter, and spring is the very final leg. They're the most wore out, they're the most tired. Regardless of the year, regardless of the weather, look for that green growth. When those first shoots of green start coming up and the deer start utilizing it, that's when they start to recover. Until then, they're still in that winter holding pattern and very susceptible to any kind of pressure.
This week's Canadian Whitetail Scouting segment has been brought to you by Muddy Outdoors. Create your own muddy moment. This segment is brought to you by AAE. Innovation and integrity is in our blood. Quality and dependability is in our products.
Just minutes into the evening, Steve looked over and the big buck with the flyer was at the fence and making his way towards us. Holy moly. That would be the shortest hunt I've ever had.
That was quick, eh?
You were kind of grinding away this season, Stephen. All you need was just a little bit of me.
Yeah.
That first buck came, we were actually just getting set up and talking, and I turned the camera and we were like, oh no, there's a buck right there. And he came through, and it was like seconds later you told me on the fence, there's one on the fence.
Yeah.
And he turns his head and I could see the big flyer hanging out the side. I'm like, well, that's the flyer buck.
Back there he didn't look so wide, but when he came in here and he looked at us,
he's a nice deer.
He's a nice deer.
Yeah, he's a nice deer.
Yeah.
A mature deer. And
first deer with a crossbow?
Yep. And that's a heck of a first deer with the crossbow.
Yeah.
That 4x4 that you passed up is a bigger frame.
Oh yeah.
A lot of guys kind of ask how Steve or some of the guys shoot such big deer. Well, it's not the big deer, it's mature bucks.
Yep.
That big buck he's a younger deer. He has all the potential in the world. This flyer buck is a gorgeous deer, but he's already in the prime of his life. Like,
yep.
That's,
exactly.
you know, we've seen them get bigger at 10 years old. They could always get bigger, but you take a big mature buck like that, you got a real trophy there. Wow.
Yeah. Well, how can you pass that up?
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, we've been in 20 minutes into our sit.
Yeah. That arrow went through him 40 yards, further than the shot even was, hey?
And the great thing is, buddy, he's right there. He's about another 50 yards ahead of us.
Oh, he is too.
Yeah.
There it is.
Here he is.
That's a pretty nice buck, Stevie. Wide, eh?
Yeah, he's got that neat flyer.
Gorgeous old buck.
We've had this deer on camera for a while.
Quite a few years, eh?
Yeah. We weren't in for 20 minutes max. And I looked over and I seen this guy walk up and standing at the fence staring over our way, and he stood there for the longest time. He walked up and he looked pretty good to me, and I figured old mature buck, broad daylight, cool flyer.
Well, congratulations, bud. That's a beautiful old buck.
Thanks, buddy. Well, that's what we strive for. We try to get the mature deer. He'd be my first crossbow deer, so here we have him.
Patience and dedication are both virtues that you cannot buy, but they must be practiced. And they're both things that will serve you well in life, both in and out of the deer woods. And they are both qualities that Steve is in no short supply of. Steve's history of taking great deer makes that apparent, and I couldn't have been more honored to share a blind with Steve once again. Congratulations on a fantastic buck, and thanks for watching this week's episode of Canadian Whitetail.
This segment is brought to you by Wild Edge, makers of the ultimate climbing system, the Step Ladder, Safely design your climb in any tree with the most versatile, lightweight, and compact climbing system, the Step Ladder. To book your own dream hunt in northern Saskatchewan, contact us at Canadian Whitetail Outfitters. Canadian Whitetail is also brought to you by these fine sponsors. Stay up to date with Dean and the team by following us on Instagram, liking us on Facebook, and subscribing to our YouTube channel. For Canadian Whitetail gear and apparel, information, and newsletters, visit CanadianWhitetailTV.com. For past episodes and never-seen content, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel or search for us wherever you stream.